Hey, what's up, everyone? Morey Croson here, and today we're going to be breaking down the best wrist flick in the game, Aaron Rodgers. We're going to start the video right now.
This is the newest edition of the Performance Lab.
Reach your individual goals. You don't want to just talk about straight line speed. We also want to talk about your ability to be quick. We break down your video. Let's make you into the quarterback I know you can become. All right, so I recently did a video about all the top throws and breaking down some of the top throws ever, and so many times Aaron Rodgers was on that, and it just made me, there was one angle in particular that made me say, like, I really need to do a breakdown on Aaron Rodgers' wrist flick because it's just so phenomenal. And this is from a game in 2018 where he actually hurt his left knee. Right, so he had a hard time shifting his weight onto his front knee and still made some incredible throws, right? Made some bad throws, but also made some incredible throws. And really the bad throws were more decision-based, not the throws themselves were bad. But anyway, let's hop into the wrist flick that Aaron Rodgers has, right? And how he gets there. Okay, so we see where he's at with the football, right? And how he's holding the football, okay? So obviously he has a big hand. Some of us do not have the same size hands. I'm one of those people included. And so because of that, I'm not going to be able to hold the ball the same way that he does. But some of the things that stand out to me is, you know, we're very similar in that pinky and being able to get a lot of we're trying to expand on that pinky the best that we can. And then for him, it's a lot easier for him to have a great grasp with that index finger right on the top of the football there. For me, I have to have like a little bit longer separation. Okay, but we can see where he's at with his hand and how he's loading, right? And when he loads, he's really has great position with his hand, right? And being able to have a lot of control of the football. The nose of the football goes really straight back from there. Okay, and then as he's coming upwards, okay, and this ends up being, I think, where the biggest issue ends up coming, right? So we can see he's coming upwards, and I'm going to be looking at both sides here. So as he's coming upwards with the hand, he's also rotating the football, okay? And this is where the most amount of people, I think, have mistakes because when they get into, like, this area within the ball, like, loading, right, they want to be more with their with the nose of the football facing back or even facing straight this way, right, towards the camera. Where you can see him, he's already turning the wrist. So the number one thing you want to be able to do when it comes to being able to fix that wrist flick is being able to be fast and being able to get the wrist around. Okay, so we want to be fast and being able to get the wrist around. And then so first thing he does is he turns it, right? And then he does an elbow drive. So he's coming forward with his elbow. Okay, and as he's coming forward with the elbow, he's allowing that external rotation to happen within the shoulder. Okay, so we can see that now that's where he allows like the nose of the football to go upwards. Okay, and he gets the ball to be really right above the shoulder, right? A little bit more external rotation, but really close to being right above the shoulder. And then from there, okay, and this is where it's going to be different for everybody, right? Is in this little range. How well can you create this rotation, right? So he does a really good job of being able to generate this rotation where the hand ends up almost bending, you know, slightly backwards. Okay, and a lot of times I see quarterbacks do this and it ends up being something that they can't recover from. And being able to get that hand to really bend all the way back there, okay, and then from there still be able to get up on top. Okay, so as he allows that hand to bend, now he's getting back on top of the ball, right, coming straight forward and through. And this is where, you know, having those big hands really makes a big difference because he's in kind of that U position right here. But right before he gets into releasing, he's able to turn that wrist around. So then he's able to get back on top of the ball, right, and really release downward on the football. Okay, and that ends up being the main thing that he does that allows him to have the success that he has, right? We'll take another look here from this view. I think this view you could probably see it even better, right? So he's in here, right? He allows that hand to bend, right? Now he's quick to rotate and be able to get back on top. So now as he's rotating, right, now slight bend backwards, okay? So we get like a radial deviation here. So he's bending with the thumb back, right? And then that's coming into ulnar deviation as he's driving that pinky forward, Okay, and then as he does it, you can even see like right before he releases the ball, right? He's coming through. He gets like this last little turn, right? See how he does that last little turn of his hand, okay? And we could even see this from the front. I have some front angles as well, where he gets like this last little bit of movement before the ball comes out of his hand. Or let me try to find it. Here we go. So he's turning, right before that ball comes out of his hand, he gets like this little bit of turn, which allows him to create this extension in the elbow as he's flicking the ball, right? So see how he extends in that elbow? So he gets this little turn, and then this extension, and then turning over with that wrist, okay? And that's what really separates him, right? I mean, we're going super in depth into the release, right? And I think the reason that this is so important to me, right, and the reason I take the time here, and this is one of the examples of what was not a great maybe decision, right, but it looks like the guy kind of slipped too. But see how good he does at getting on top of the ball, right, and then he's able to flick, right? It looks like the ball either slipped or the receiver slipped. Something happened, okay? But you can see he's not able to shift his weight onto his front leg, but he's still throwing dimes, right? This is a great deep throw. Okay, we want to be able to take a look at that as well, okay? So look, front foot down, okay? Weight is on the back leg, right? And he really can't shift too far forward, okay? But he does shift forward and upward, okay? And then he's able to turn that wrist, and right before he releases the ball, he gets this like last little turn here, which makes it so then he can get this a little bit stronger flick within those two fingers. And it seems to me like he really uses two fingers to really get that flick on the football, right? So like he's here and he's turning, and then he gets like this kind of rotation, so then he could use both his middle and his index finger to be able to release that ball. Okay, and so you got to be able to connect to this, guys. I'm taking the time to show you, right, that last little turn, and see how he has like both these fingers here. It's almost like a snake, right, trying to snap down on the ball, like bow. Okay, and the reason I'm showing you this is because, yeah, the lower body is important, right? The strength of your body is important. The strength of the core is important. The timing of the throw is important. Okay, all those are important. What you do with the front arm is important. But what makes a big difference is being able to understand the timing of the wrist flick, the positioning of the wrist, the utilization of the hands, right? All those things that are making a big difference. And the more that you will be willing to spend the time to go into it, right? I know I'm the guy that spends the most time talking about this. There's nobody that spends the amount of time or goes into the depth that I have, okay? But looking 3 to 4 years from now, I know that this information is going to be what everybody talks about, right? And the more we can go in depth into it, right? The sooner you're willing to go in depth into it, the better your results are going to be. Okay, so I really challenge you, or I really encourage you to take the time to understand the wrist flick, right? And really, I encourage you to sign up for the Throw 60 program, right? Sign up for Quarterback University. Go and do those things, because now we could really go in depth into it. And you could start asking questions, and we could look at your throw and be able to break it down, because it takes time. It's not something that just happens right away. But the guys that are in the program that are taking the time to be able to make improvements, I mean, in terms of being able to throw over 50 yards, no problem. Right? In terms of being able to throw 60 yards, a lot of them been able to achieve that are in those higher levels. But even the younger kids are super excited about being able to understand this and seeing great results in camps and playing flag football and playing 7-on-7 and playing in their youth leagues, because they understand that getting the wrist in the right position is critical. And the sooner you can get to that position, the sooner you can understand what that looks like, the more success you're going to have as a quarterback, period. So check the description down below. Click the thumbs up if you like the information. Subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this. We're going to help you being able to improve your throw. I always tell people, look, when I was playing, I could throw the ball 35, 40 yards on the line, right? My deep ball was about 45, maybe 50. Got a little wind behind it. And the reason is because I didn't know there was a difference between how you throw a intermediate ball and how you throw a deep ball, right? No one taught me, hey, look, there's differences between the two ways, right? It took me until I got into biomechanics, got into teaching, got into understanding that really I was able to connect to this. And now, looking back 4 or 5 years ago and how my teaching first started and being able to help develop quarterbacks in comparison to now, it's night and day. Right. And so we want to continue to develop. You want to continue to get better. And I can tell you right now, there's nobody that invests into their future, their abilities, their understanding of the body, their ability to be able to coach, their ability to be able to connect than I do. And nobody cares as much as I do either. So if you're still watching this video and not part of Quarterback University, I don't know what you're doing, to be honest with you. But sign up. Sign up. Hit me up. Let me know how I could help you. All right. Again, thanks for watching. And subscribe to the channel, like the video.